Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to King's Quest 2015. Let's continue. So we're in this escape room that we started with. We've already figured out that we could turn this painting and it pointed to this statue. And I don't think I can specifically look at the statue other than it's pointing maybe this way. And now that is pointing to this, which gives me 3 swords. So for number 1,
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
seeing if you
The sign doesn't need to be read.
so if you shake your head, it looks like a 0,
All you have to
I
do
would
is
say,
shake your head.
or an N. And this one said
The
take
sign read, remove 4 matchsticks, and you will see the answer lies in triangles of 3.
3 triangles by removing 4 matchsticks. This, and this would give me 3 triangles. But it doesn't work that way because I've only taken 3 of them.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
So, is there a way I could make a different triangle that would just be the combination? I can't see any way you would do this. Like, not a single way. What if I took, like, this and this, and this and this?
Put all the matchsticks back.
That doesn't leave 3 triangles, so that leaves 4. So if I take this one, that gets rid of 1 triangle. And if I took, say, these,
Put all the matchsticks back.
that leaves 3 triangles. Triangles of 3. One, 2, 3. And nothing I do now would.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back. I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
Let's try something different. Zero, 3.
This might take some doing.
And he's doing a puzzle. Do I want to give him the clue piece? No.
Watch out! Looking for clues. I hope if I play the right tune, a leprechaun will appear. Well, that can't be right. Let me try again. But that won't help.
So I'm thinking it's 0, 3. And I could probably. No, that's not the right thing at all. Because that won't work. Let's try this clue piece on the table. Seems like I can click on anything on this table and none of it actually interacts. Book, vase, heart, leaf, star. So I need more clue pieces. This one's pointing downward as an arrow. This book can't be picked up. Nor can this be spun. This can't be done. Hourglass. Can I spell open? O P. No, that wouldn't be the right thing anyways. That's too many words. Too many letters. So it seems we're stuck here.
For matchsticks, and you will see the answer lies in triangles of 3.
One, 2, 3,
I'm going to put all
4.
the matchsticks back. I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
It could be 446. It could be 466. It could be 114. It could be 146 or 144.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back. I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
I don't know how you make a triangle with 3. It seems impossible.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back. I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
Here's the problem now is I've hit this level of difficulty that I wasn't expecting. And until I can make this magic dust, which I assume is what I need to do, I don't think I can open the door. So why not just brute force this? And try it that way. I wonder if the game will let me do it at all without knowing the answer. I desperately need help. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your...
So I'm just gonna shake my head violently to see what this does, which frankly I don't think it's gonna do much of anything because first of all I'm wearing headphones and this is actually making me dizzy. And my eyes don't often work with these things. Zero, 3, 0, 3, and then
Still working on it. It's harder than it looks. The pieces are double-sided.
Just brute force this. Try this. We'll try 0, 3, and we'll try every single combination on top of this. So 0, 3, 4, 0, 3, 3, 0, 3, 2, 0, 3, 1, 0, 3, 0, 9, 8. And notice how the game is not helping me. It's not giving me any hint or anything. This is worse than chapter 2, I would say, because here you could actually be stuck. I tried them all, none of them worked.
Should we ask for a hint? This is a clue, right?
There's 6 colors. Okay, maybe it's over here, something different. There's 4 letters, and if it was something PX, and then swords something S something PX. Let's try that. Are there really a letter for every single thing? I think so. Is there not a P in this? V. Maybe a C? There's a couple of S's. So there's sword. Or an M, maybe? Looking for an S or an M. Maybe it's not pictures, but shapes of things. Neither one of those match, though. But it could be an hourglass. So 2 might be an H. There's no hourglass shape either.
I wasn't about to pull that switch again.
I see 3. I see 3. But this is not a 3. This is... Unless there's a C. This is frustrating. This is really, really frustrating. I may have to look up an answer here just because I'm going to end up spending an hour in this escape room that I don't really even care to do.
The sign read, "Remove 4 matchsticks, and you will see the answer lies in triangles of 3.
Triangles of 3. Did I try 1, 4, 6? As a combination? I suppose if that's the real answer.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
Let's see.
I'm going to put all the matchsticks back.
It can't be an edge piece. I don't think. Well, I guess this works. 146. Finally. Finally, with no help. That could have been an hour of work. Maybe I'm just having trouble figuring out that puzzle, but that is a percentage of your players in any puzzle game. Stuff like that's gonna happen. There needs to be an excuse.
Was a sequence of colors.
Guys, I think I found something.
So
All the clues on the table.
she found a key that's going to open the door. Let's give this to her.
I knew I was missing something. This must be the order to play the notes.
That's Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, I was hoping the right tune would summon a pegacorn.
Keep playing it.
Dad, check this out. I got it.
And so you had to do everything first.
Well, I put the puzzle together. It's a nice picture, but I don't see how it's a clue. There was an extra piece, though. Not sure what that has to do with anything.
I am so proud of you, son.
Why, thank you.
Hey, you find any other pieces?
Let's see.
Grandpa, do you need a nap?
It's funny, the game is asking me that, and I'm close to saying yes. Let's see. So the puzzle is Mr. Fancy Pants.
Remind me later to tell you a funny story about a black cat and some stairs.
So we've got... Let's see. Was this puzzle solved? With a purple heart on it. What do we do with something that has a purple heart on it? I suppose you could make the argument that V in some way needed to be punished for killing all these people while she was crazy. I don't know if I fully agree with that idea. Really. But I could see people trying to make that argument. Well, this is more than enough handles to ensure I'd never be able to randomly guess that combination.
It seems to be missing a piece.
We have a purple heart that probably only plays a part.
That missing.
Grandpa.
Probably plays a part in this later. So what am I supposed to be doing right now? We've done 3, we've done 4. We've...
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
And you can't do purple heart here. And this puzzle's already been solved. I suppose I'll just try it on everything. I'm just missing something completely. I've got to be. There's nothing else to pick up or interact with over here.
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head. The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
See, we're just stuck again.
If anyone finds any puzzle pieces, bring them to me.
Yeah, until we get that to switch, nothing's gonna happen. And she's just gonna keep playing. Unless I'm supposed to put the heart in the chest.
Hey, you find any other pieces? Grandpa, do you need...
That recipe.
Like, I can't open this book or do anything. Oh, this is frustrating. And no two wrong answers are allowed. Is there something else on the side of this? Oh, this is really, really frustrating. Just a massive difficulty spike. Out of nowhere. Maybe I was supposed to.
You know, I'm kind of digging the goofiness of this family. I wasn't sure about it at first, but it's endearing.
Maybe I'm just supposed to have conversations with Alexander. We're going back to calling him Alexander.
So, are there any princesses close by home that I could, meet? Dark hair, olive skin, clean veil? I don't know, I can't have a type.
Well, that's good to hear that his type isn't blonde.
This whole outing would have been so much easier if I remembered my magic map. Remind me later to tell you a funny story about a black cat and some stairs.
So
Stop distracting me.
maybe I'm supposed to give the clue to her. Maybe that's the trick.
Grandpa, do you need a nap?
That recipe was...
It seems to be missing a piece.
Well, let's see. KOBVTI We see the hourglass is K. So, wait, that's not an hourglass though, that's an urn. Which means none of these symbols match any of the things I've seen. Sword. Is there nothing else hidden? Is this just a pixel hunt I'm missing?
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
Try the mouse here. Didn't work. Back to the controller. One, 4, 6.
All of that sticks back.
Interesting. Let me solve it a second time.
I solved it.
Am I missing something? I have no control over the camera. It's not like I could turn around and look this way. And I don't even have a control of the camera out on this side. I think I'm just defeated. I swear I'm just defeated. There's nothing here.
Find any puzzle pieces? Bring them to me. Grandpa.
Like,
Hey, you find any other pieces?
This is driving me crazy. This is driving me insane. As we are here, we have a picture of the heart. We have swords. We have a 0 or cave.
It seems to be missing a piece.
Even if I did want to try this combination, none of these would work. What have I done wrong? And this is just not what you want. This is absolutely not what you want in a puzzle of a video game. We should be done with this whole series, and instead, with this whole chapter, and instead they've decided to throw this incredibly difficult puzzle in just to give the game the opportunity to frustrate you. Is pretty much all I can guess. And this is never gonna work. Like, did I try giving him back that piece? I've tried to give everybody the puzzle piece.
Try that somewhere else. But that won't help.
She does want some peace. Maybe there's a way to talk to my daughter, but I have to be standing in a specific spot.
If anyone finds any puzzle pieces, bring them to me.
No. maybe put the puzzle piece together with this. Oh, this is driving me crazy. This is awful. This is just terrible. I wouldn't be surprised if this is some kind of zoom in setup that I have to deal with.
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
Red.
The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head. The sign doesn't need to be read. All you have to do is shake your head.
Alright. I've had enough. I have had more than enough. Let's see. We are in King's Quest Chapter 4 Escape Room Puzzle. I am now just looking up the walkthrough. Because this is driving me insane. They're giving me 0 hints. I can't even find the solution or the thing I'm supposed to interact with. Like, this isn't even... This isn't even the right thing. King's Quest Chapter 4 Escape Room. It's telling me a different answer for a different King's Quest. Here we go. Let's just skip all the way to most of this. So several page clicks. Because we've done so many puzzles. 10 puzzles, 11 puzzles, 12 puzzles. They're calling it the riddle room. No, that's the other one. Okay, here we go. The puzzle room. Alright. So the match puzzle we already did. That was incredibly difficult, and I was not happy with that when all was said and done. Apparently there was 2 solutions there. You could have 2 different ways you could have done that. So really? Okay. Oh, I see, I see. Alright. So the thing that they're not being very obvious about, and that's why it's giving me trouble upon I'm getting snowed on, is this handle puzzle here. So you need to find 2 handles that are connected to each other. Which there desperately needs to be a sign or something that says that. So this handle, for example, is not connected to anything. This isn't connected to anything. This isn't connected to anything. This isn't connected. 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 this one here isn't connected, this one isn't connected, this one isn't connected, and this one isn't connected, which leaves just this one, which happens to be drawn through a line to this one. And I guess maybe if I had spent an hour staring at this door, just determined to look at the door, I would have figured that out. But with no hints and no help, it's a completely unacceptable puzzle. Huge difficulty spike. And back behind this door is not the way we came in. I thought this is how we came in.
Another clue.
So we can now put this clue here.
Another clue.
And she finds another clue.
Someone help me. I've almost puzzled something out.
So then that lets me do this, which is probably premature to do this. It would be nice for the sister to save the day, but I don't know if it's particularly necessary. There's not enough time here, not enough backstory to have it all like this. So we need a 0 or a cave or something blue, and then swords or hourglasses, then a puzzle piece, then a xylophone. Let's look at this. So maybe it's a horseshoe, which would then be L, followed by an hourglass, which is O. L-O, it's V-E, isn't it? Let's just follow V backwards and see what this is. The heart. Yep. And then the third piece of the mystery would be E, which goes to the stars. Is there a star thing happening here? Let's just skip it. So my guesses before were wrong, but that's fine.
We did it!
And let's get out of here and let's finish this and let's just be done with this chapter. Would I ever want to really replay this chapter? I don't even know what I could have done different. Maybe there's something for finishing puzzles faster, but I don't think so. There's been, as far as I can tell, no decisions or anything. No choices, really. I haven't had to pick between my son or my daughter. Maybe they can put it back together.
Shoo! Shoo!
Can Alexander put it back together?
She's in a better spot now, love.
Is he picking her all up, or is he just covering her with his cape?
Let's go home.
So he left his cape. Which is kind of nice, because I think getting rid of the cape would be a good idea. It animated weird in a few places where we actually see it
Thank you for everything.
and use it. I think they kind of fixed that later on. I haven't noticed it, the cape moving awkwardly. And so the only things that would have been different here is if I had picked the other girl to be my wife, it would have just switched that. And that's it.
When they do what you want them to. But the greatest puzzle our family ever solved was figuring out how to love each other at our worst. And even when we act cold to each other, we've always found ways to warm each other up.
Is it gonna work?
Could you scrape together another potion out of this?
Perhaps with a few rare and miraculous ingredients, but it will take a very long time. I'll need to work under a new alias. King Graham is going to be hot on our tail.
What did you have in mind, brother?
I think it's time I shed my slave name. What do you think about the name Mordak?
I assume that name means something to people who've played the previous King's Quest games.
He snuck these out of the kitchen for you. What's this?
Read it.
Addendum 48677. I know this one. The King of Daventry may choose any worthy male to succeed the throne.
Not that.
Yeah, it looks like there's a proposed amendment. The above statement shall be modified to read, the King of Daventry may choose any worthy person to succeed them. I'm so sorry. I had no idea about the change. I know how hard you worked to inherit the throne.
That's not why I'm upset. Keep reading.
Dearest officials, I'm writing to waive the 30-day holding period usually required for amendments of this nature. The changes outlined on this document must be enacted immediately due to my imminent death. Imminent? What? You told me you had a few good years left.
We all thought he did. But now the doctors say he could go at any time.
Any time?
I'm not ready to lose him.
This is sad.
It's okay, Bert. I'm not ready either.
Interesting, the tear being animated there. I don't think a Telltale game could do that, honestly. I don't think they have the skill or the budget for it. So, yeah, we kind of knew that's what's going to happen. This is probably the wrong story to tell for a reboot of King's Quest. Perhaps the original creator, perhaps the writer, did have the desire to get away from Graham being the main character. It seemed like that was the case in King's Quest VII because he wasn't the main character. He didn't even get mentioned, or Daventry wasn't mentioned either in King's Quest VII, which made it a very odd game. It was, I suppose. So let's have a look here on the pictures. Was there some way I could have changed who got kidnapped at the beginning? No. I can't see a way of changing it other than Like, there was no opportunity in which I could have picked up one baby and put him in the other cradle and then swapped the other baby in the other cradle, because I couldn't carry at any point both of the babies at the very beginning. So unless by choosing the other lady to be my princess, unless I chose V, and by choosing V that switched the who got kidnapped, I don't see how it changes. Also, that would not really work with the way the story is being written, that they've had this rule where only males could lead the king, could be the king, which, so what? It seems very much still possible that my daughter could have been the queen. Maybe she wouldn't have gotten the title, but it wouldn't be the first time we've had a monarchy run by a queen. The lower right is who we went to visit when 18 years were skipped and we got Alexander back. The lower center is the special item that we collected for being such good friends, although we could have been slightly better friends to the Hobblepots, I think is who they're called. They're in the lower right. And then the lower left, I don't think that changes too much, really. The top center would change slightly on the statue if I wasn't the compassionate. If I was the wise or the fierce or something like that, that would be slightly different too. But I don't really feel like there were any decisions in this. Nor do I feel like there were any collectibles. Nor do I feel like there was anything that could have been happened any differently. This is a clear issue with The Walking Dead episode 4 too. Well, 4 also, is in the idea that everything had to come back together for the final, and I feel like that's exactly what's happening here, is that the story had to all combine. Everything, regardless of your choices up this point. We have to get to the starting point of the next chapter, and it's more important at the end than it was in the middle. I didn't see any actions or anything that changed really too much based on my previous actions. There, I'm knocking the mouse so that gets the cursor to show back up. Not happy with this chapter though. The story was alright, but it was a little weak and a little shallow. Apparently Acorn could have shown up and we missed him. We've missed Acorn a couple times. No, they're the Fays. Winty Fay and Bramble Fay. That's it. They're not called the Hobblepots. That must have been the other older people who have either passed on probably at this point or retired. I guess you would have to assume that they passed on. There actually might be a little bit of story. Here you can see the problem right there. Producer for chapter 1, producer for chapter 2 and 3. Like, you shouldn't have multiple producers for different chapters. Frankly, I could see making the argument that this chapter was worse than chapter 2 even. At least chapter 2 was a true point-and-click adventure game, at least a lot closer than this. We didn't pick up any items, really, or use any of them, except for that final puzzle room. The rest of them were all just slide line puzzles that, there was about 12 of them, and if those 12 slide line puzzles had been split amongst all 5 chapters, they would have been perfectly acceptable, but by them all being squeezed in the same place, they really suck. And they're very repetitive, and the entire interaction is mostly just Graham and the son not getting along or learning to get along, and the ending in the modern day where they Garth and Gwendolyn realize that the older King Graham is dying is kind of important, but it is also kind of out of left field, because remember, we went from a cutscene where they're fighting at the dinner table to Gwendolyn sneaking in the bedroom and hearing the rest of the story, which I'm not sure there was even any animation of that. And then it goes from that cutscene to the last cutscene we saw. Just not enough content there. And frankly, this storytelling device of flashbacks is not being used to its best efficiency. It's now become a ball and chain around their necks instead of being something useful. I honestly can't see why they didn't just continue the story right behind, right past chapter 1, and had us replay the events of King's Quest 1 redone. It didn't have to be a screen-for-screen remake. They could have done it that way. It didn't have to be a story-by-story bit remake. They could have redone all of that. But at the end of the day, I would have been really, really happy if the first season of this was just where I became king, I found the magic mirror, I found the magic treasure chest that gives us gold, I found a bunch of gems for extra points, apparently that was something you could have done, and I found the magic shield. And then at the end of all of the chapters, I become king. And then you could still have the storytelling device where it's the old Graham telling the story, acting like he's gonna die, and then you could have a nice surprise, which we're still probably gonna have a nice surprise, and he probably won't die, and he'll survive, and then you could go next season, he'll tell you the story too. I wouldn't be upset if they went 5 seasons where Graham looked like he was gonna die, but in all actuality, he had a lot more stories to tell. This seems so rushed. It feels like they just want to get to Gwendolyn being the queen, which it doesn't even really matter. It could be Garth that becomes king, and then Gwendolyn could go out on adventures, which would be a better position if you wanted to continue doing King's Quest stories. And frankly, if they were really smart, they could set this up where Garth becomes the king and he sends Gwendolyn out on adventures for him, and sometimes he comes too, and then it's 2 players working together. That would be pretty nice too. Or maybe you have just your gender choice options there, where at the beginning of the game you get to decide whether you want to play as Garth or Gwendolyn. That would work well also. There really isn't that much that happens, so it's hard to even say too much against the game, because I've already kind of named all of this chapter and all the things I didn't like about it. See, and they're not even going to show me the outline of chapter 5. So if we get one of those, it's going to unlock at the end. I feel like chapter 3 was a lot better, and that was heavily contrived. This stopped even being contrived. It literally was you're stuck in the labyrinth from the beginning to from most of the chapter. I guess at the very, very beginning you won't. But you have to go back and think about the puzzles where I'm just packing suitcases, or the scene where I'm just talking to my son and showing him things I've collected in previous parts of the game. Yeah, and I guess none of the actions I took in this matter at all. Some of the actions I took here, I think, might have mattered, but maybe not. Maybe at the end of the day, you could have played it where you didn't have the pie maker get married, and then he wouldn't have had a wife here, and then he still wouldn't have had a wife here. And I guess the blacksmith, she's been given this weird life where she really plays very little role, and the old couple have played not that much of a role. They all get ignored in chapter 3. The writing, the storytelling is just weak here. It's really, really weak. The puzzle design is really, really weak. It's very odd. Again, it's proving that even if you try to do better than what I frankly think Telltale's attempts are kind of lazy, even if you try to be a little bit better than that, then people aren't succeeding at doing better. You can make adventure games, certainly, and point and click adventure games, certainly. New ones come out all the time that are a lot better than this. You can make games with better story, definitely, but when you approach it from the beginning that you're going to release episodically, it seems to open up just a realm of possibility of making a bad game. Things that you couldn't have done before. If they had not done episodic release and pushed this game back a year and worked on this story so it was one continuous, interconnected, well-written story, and worked on all the gameplay elements so they were well integrated, well mixed, continuous, well thought out puzzles and gameplay elements, we would have a million times better game, to exaggerate a little bit, because we wouldn't have scenes in certain chapters that are completely not used. We walked through in chapter 3 5 scenes with nothing in it, just from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. Then in this chapter we had about 12 scenes that barely had any animation to it, because it was just ice walls everywhere, and there's just a little bit of puzzles on the floor, and that was it for the entire 12 rooms. And sometimes when you look at these numbers, you can hear the negotiation that happened where some producer said, we've been given a budget to make 12 rooms, so we have to make 12 rooms, but we can only really afford to have anything in 6 of them, so we'll just have the other 6 be hallways, which is very much the case. You see that a lot in the Lego games, when every single Lego game has 150 stars or 300 stars or gold bricks to collect. The numbers are always the same, because that's how they start their negotiations, saying we're going to give you 30 levels with 300 collectibles, and they do whatever is necessary to see that happen. Well, next time we start chapter 5, and I'm much closer on the scales, well, I'm slightly on the scales of wanting this just to be done with and just not have a season 2. I don't think there would be a season 2 anyways, but that might surprise me. But I am sadly getting the feeling that they failed in their one and only attempt to reboot it. Maybe down the line Activision will say, let's try this again. Let's put a bigger budget. Let's have a team that knows what they're doing. Let's make a real adventure game series off of this, because they have the name, and the name still probably will catch people's attention. It certainly caught my my attention. If this was not called King's Quest, I wouldn't have bought this game. Certainly not anytime soon, at least. So the name is still good. So they just need to put more budget behind it and more planning and better writing. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.